Hey everybody, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to start out with a special guest that we have tonight. It's General Grievous from the Star Wars movie franchise. Come on in, General. Let everyone see you. Don't be shy. Here he is, General Grievous. Very, very famous character from the Star Wars movie franchise because of how he holds those multiple lightsabers. He's a cool bad guy, that sort of thing. I'm showing them to you actually for a couple of reasons. One reason is because he sold last night for me on eBay for $50, which is great, very light, easy to ship. It's all profit. If you remember from watching my other videos, I purchased a lot of Funko Pops for it was about 150 of them for $200, and I made my money back and was into profit after selling only 11 of them. So again, this is all profit, great purchase. But that's not the reason why I'm showing the General to you today. The reason I am really showing him to you is because he sold last night not only for $50, but also to somebody who had zero feedback. That's right, zero feedback. Already paid for within about a half an hour of the purchase. And I'm going to tell you why I do that, why I sell to people with zero feedback. Now, let me give you a little bit of a backdrop on this item. And if you sell other items, that's fine. Just use your type of items that you sell and, you know, in place of what I'm discussing with you. This is just, you know, an example to, you know, just explain the whole process to you, but you could use whatever item it is that you sell. So this one has an established market value of maximum of $80. So this has sold in the last days, same exact item for $80. Now it's also sold for $70, $75, $60, $65, just depends, but the maximum it will sell for is $80. So, you know, that's important information for me to know. I know people are willing to pay that much money for it on multiple occasions. Now, I then look and I see, I did a separate video on this whole process I'm going to go over with you right now. I then look and see, okay, what are other people selling it for right now? And what's my competition? And what's my competition for one, somebody who has it in similar condition that I do. This is in mint, near mint to mint condition. And what is my competition in terms of the seller's reputation? So a seller with, you know, really good stellar feedback. And turns out that there was someone who was a seller who's selling this item in similar condition to mine, with a very positive feedback score, who was selling it for $54.99. So now I could sit there and I could wait months for hoping that someone will come across, not do their research, and spend $80 and purchase it from me. But I want to make the sale. I want to move the inventory. I want to get on to the next thing, and I've already, like I said, made my money back. So what I do is I just go in and I undercut all of the other sellers, and I put it on for $53.99. So I drop it $1. And that will be enough for people to start watching that item and to start throwing offers out my way, because I put it out, buy it now, best offer. Some people would just come in and they would just make the purchase. They'll just buy it now. They won't even throw out an offer because they already know it's the lowest price. So, and if you think about it, you know, this is something that helps me avoid any kind of summer slowdown. I don't have any kind of summer slowdown, and that's the reason why, is because I could put things for the lowest price when there is competition for it, because I source it low. So that's a key thing to keep in mind to help increase your sales. Now, other ways to increase your sales are to broaden out your buyer base. One way is to do international shipping through eBay's global shipping program. I've done several videos on that you could check out on this channel. But another thing that I have not talked to you about before is broadening your buyer base by allowing sales to go to people who do not have feedback yet. So they'll show up with zero feedback. There is a way within eBay to set your settings so that you don't sell to people who have zero feedback. Purpose of me doing this video is to tell you that that is a mistake in my opinion. Now, I can't tell you that there's not going to be people who have zero feedback that won't try to scam you in some way. And that's the fear. That's why people often set that block, because they're worried about getting scammed. What do I mean by scammed? They're worried, for example, that someone with zero feedback is going to purchase the General. They're going to get it, come over to their house. They're going to replace it with a defective box or a defective piece or a fake piece, send it back to you, do basically a fake return, and keep the item that's good. That's what they're worried about. Okay, so now that can happen, but that can also happen to somebody who has lots and lots of feedbacks. In fact, hackers on eBay are more likely to take over an account that actually has been stale for a while, for a couple of months, hasn't been used, and has lots of feedbacks, and all positive feedbacks, and send it over to you. All the comments are positive, that sort of thing. Send over an offer, send over a purchase, and now you're sending it off to this person, not even realizing that that person is actually a scammer. So the notion that it's only people with zero feedbacks or who are going to be the people who are going to try to scam you, or are going to be much more likely that people with zero feedbacks are going to scam you, has not been the case in my experience, and I have been tracking this for over a year to see if there's any kind of association. Granted, it's just my own personal experience that I could share with you, because there's not data that's made available about this in a systematic way that we could get from eBay, so that's all I can use. But I can tell you that I have done extraordinarily well selling items to people who have zero feedback. And a couple reasons why. One, people who have never purchased anything on eBay before, they're brand new users, they just signed up for an eBay account, they are going to have zero feedback, just like you had zero feedback when you first started out on eBay. Imagine if the first time you went to make whatever that purchase was, that you were blocked because the seller didn't want to sell it to you because you didn't have feedback yet. So you probably would not have liked that, and that probably would not be a good, would not have been a good buyer experience for you on the platform. So keep that in mind. There's millions and millions of people who use eBay, and so many people who sign up every day for the first time, and they're just looking to make a purchase. And so you're cutting that person out if you set it to not accept purchases or offers from people with zero feedback. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is a lot of people, especially if you sell in the toy category, go on eBay to purchase a gift for, and this is actually was purchased as a gift, to purchase a gift for a grandchild, for their son, for their daughter, for a relative, a wife, a husband, whatever. And what they do is they go onto Google and they type in the item. So someone probably went to Google, typed in General Grievous and Star Wars Funko Pop, and my item probably came up, and then they click it in the search, it brings them to eBay, and they say, wow, that's exactly what I want to make that purchase, the price looks good, and they go ahead and they want to make you an offer, but they can't make you the offer and they can't make the purchase if you block them. So keep in mind that there's that kind of buyer out there too, not someone who just signed up for eBay and is searching around trying to make a purchase, but someone who's doing a Google search for an item, comes across yours, wants to make the purchase. They've never signed up for eBay before, they want to buy from you, they're totally legitimate, but you've blocked them. Now you just lost the sale. So the other thing I want you to keep in mind is because that person is new, I have definitely noticed this, they are less likely to play negotiation games with you back and forth. So they're more likely to give you a higher offer, and they're more likely to just buy it now because they're not used to the whole thing about, how do you, make an offer and, I have to wait for the counter offer and send it back and forth. People who are much more experienced with eBay do that type of stuff. Generally, the people who are starting out for the first time don't. And this item, it really typifies that. So remember, I had it up for $53.99, okay? And the first day that I had it up, I had probably 7 to 10 offers, anywhere from $40 to $45 for this item. Now, for when people offered me $40, I straight up declined it. Sometimes they countered at $45. If they offered me $45, I countered at $49.50. I really didn't want to go lower than around $50 for this item. Turns out that every single person either rejected that or they just didn't respond. The most somebody responded in terms of a counter offer to me was $46. No, sorry. They actually countered at $45 when I said that I wouldn't do it for $40. So the max somebody was willing to actually pay was $45. And then eventually this person who purchased this came across and offered me straight up $50 for it. So I said, sure. I took it. Took the $50, and within a half an hour, it sold. So that's exactly what I mean. Open the doors up. It will make you more money if you sell to somebody with, open up to sell to people with zero feedback, and you're just going to make more purchases. You're going to broaden your buyer base. Especially consider that if you are having slow sales. I know a lot of people complain of slow sales during the summertime. This will put a dent in that and will help decrease that. So again, there's no way to perfectly eliminate everybody who has bad intentions on eBay or any online selling platform. But what I want to just emphasize one last time is don't let the small percentage of people who have bad intentions and who are going to have some bad motive and try to scam you, don't let that small percentage let you knock out all of those people who want to make a legitimate purchase from you, because that small percentage of people is going to wind up losing you a lot of money down the long run if you let them just restrict you like that. So that's that. The last thing I want to talk about is actually something related to my video last night that I did. And this is a response to Daniela, who had a comment and a question on the poster video that I put up. And just 2 points about it, really quick and easy to go over. One of which was she asked me about, and I responded, but I just want to show it in video format, especially the second part. These food baggies, or they're basically food storage bags. They're gallon bags. And some people also call them bread bags, for example. And I had used it to wrap up a small vintage wall calendar. And Daniela was curious, where you get these things from. You could just get them in Walmart or your local grocery store. You could buy them in, counts like 75 of them or 150 of them or something like that. And they're just going to cost you a few bucks. So highly recommend purchasing them. Again, they're multi-use. You can use them around the house, for your own purposes, but you could also use them, for packing on eBay. But the other thing that I really wanted to show, and it's funny, Daniela, because I thought about showing this afterwards, but I just didn't want to show the person's address and didn't think of making up a fake address label. And so the question is, how do you put the address label on this shipping tube? If you don't know what I'm talking about with this shipping tube and why I'm showing this to you right now, this is about a way to ship posters, and I highly recommend using the Strong shipping tube. So go to my video from yesterday to check that one out. But let me just show you real quick what it is that you do to put the shipping label on it. So I just have a fake shipping label right here, and basically what we would do is you just put a piece of it down like this right here, okay? And let me just actually turn it the other way, maybe make it easier to see the edge of it right there. So I would just lay it like that, okay? The top of the label, and you're just gonna take your tape and you're gonna cut a piece of it off. And I already have them cut just to save some time here for this. And all you're going to do to make this real easy is just take the piece of tape right here, put it right there, and then just press it right down like that. Okay? And then you're just going to work your way over and just go down until you get to the bottom of the label. So you would put this one right here and, just overlap it a little bit. Okay? And then we're going to take this one right over here and put this on right like that. Okay, so let me just put that there for you. Okay, so now when we come around this way, we just have this little flap here that needs to go in there, and I will cut off one other piece of tape so that goes in there. And you could even do it not cutting it off, like we could just go like this, even if you don't want to cut it up ahead of time. You could just kind of put it down like this right onto it. Just tape it down. Just take your scissor, just cut it, and there you go. So that's how you do it, Daniela. Real easy. The UPC code just going to show like right here or something like that, and then it could just get easily scanned. And that's the easiest way to do it, just like that. It's very simple. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Consider selling to people with zero feedback. If you wind up changing that, and you start making sales, please come back to this video, drop a comment down below, and let me know that you're making sales now to people with zero feedback. And let me know what your experiences are with it. I have, again, not had any significant problems with people who have zero feedback compared to people who have lots of feedback. In fact, I will tell you that I am more likely to have a return request or a refund request or something like that, which doesn't happen too often to me anyway, but when it does happen, it is almost always from people who have lots of feedback compared to zero. I can't even actually remember one off the top of my head right now that involves zero feedback. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. The little treasure chest pops up at the end there. Hit subscribe there or anywhere on the channel. And also stop by my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. Lots of great tips there on reselling. Hope you consider coming by. All you have to do is hit a join request once you go to the Facebook link down below in the description section, and I will let you in if everything looks good. See you there, everybody, and I'll see you at the next video.